Akurskura is a popular name for a herbal substance consumed primarily as an intoxicant by youths, women, and the elderly in some parts of Zaria, Kaduna State in Nigeria, West Africa. The substance being marketed as a herbal drug is being abused and now taken as a replacement for some banned substances. The abuse of Akurskura is rampant in Zaria as married women, schoolgirls, and boys are not left out in the disturbing practice that has killed some and left others incapacitated. People have confessed to being addicted to the formula known by its Hausa name, which literally means to rinse the mouth.
Akurskura is a popular herbal mixture used as an intoxicant, mostly in northern Nigeria. It's like, what Yorubas would call agbo, as the case may be. However, the way it is used, it is gargled, and however, it has very serious side effects. So I would say that it is probably because of the poor understanding of what drugs and drug abuse really entails. Because what you will get to understand is that young people continue to devise new methods of either sniffing glue. Now, when someone sniffs glue, you can hardly tell where he had procured the glue from, what he needed the glue for. So you can actually get someone who uses glue as intoxicant, but you can hardly prosecute someone using that because unless you see him using it directly, it's difficult to tell.
Akurskura is becoming a thing of concern as it is speedily replacing cough syrups as the new intoxicant used among youths and housewives. The liquid substance, made from a mixture of marijuana, tobacco, and paint thinner, comes in a small bottle, and vendors say they are often transported from the southwestern part of the country and largely found in small, unregistered chemists and among vendors for as low as 200 naira.
What the test from NAFDAC has found out is that Akurskura is a high concentration of cannabis and tobacco. High concentration of cannabis. And a friend of mine said they use tina to mix it. I hope you know what's tina. This chemical you use in mixing paint. Sexes are taken in male, female, old, young, adults. When you go to the ghettos, to the poor area, that is where you will see it. However, I have seen some very few educated with masters, high workers. I have seen very few of them making use of, but they will tell you their own is special. It's not the high concentration, and it even has pineapple flavor, banana flavor, very few, but majority of those making use of it are the poor.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, is relentless in its fight against drug abuse and addiction. Constant raids and arrests are being made around the country from Lagos to Delta to Kano, Kaduna, Yobe, Bauchi, Adamawa, Edo states, and even at the airports.
We have 14.3 million Nigerians who have abused drugs and giving us a 14.4% prevalence rate, which is almost 3 times the global average of 5.6. So that is on the one hand. Again, when you also look at the number of arrests the agency had made, say in the last 18 months, we have over 19,000 arrests. And again, out of that, we have over 12,300 persons counseled and rehabilitated across our facilities all over the country. That paints a picture of what the real problem or how big the problem, because it's painted or is presented as a herbal product, that brings it directly under the purview of NAFDAC. And we're glad that NAFDAC had also risen up to the occasion by banning the substance, the product totally from the market. We need the support of all the stakeholders. Yeah, we're engaging with all the stakeholders, but more than ever before, because of the enormity of the problem, we need the buy-in and the full support of everybody, stakeholders in this sense, starting from the home, from the family, because that is the smallest units of the society. Parents need to wake up. Parents need to rise up and ensure that they monitor the activities of their children, what they are eating, what they are consuming, what they have in their backpack, and the kind of friends they associate with. Beyond the family unit, we also are asking that the schools should also be alive to their responsibilities, and that's why we're encouraging drug tests in schools, drug education in schools. All of this we're doing to make sure that from the home we take care of it, from the schools where the young minds go to learn, we also take care of it. Then even up to the larger society, when they want to work, we're asking employers, okay, before you employ people, make sure that one of the prerequisites is drug test.
There seems to always be some tea or herb that manifests itself in the market for unassuming folks. This particular drug has different uses for different people. The majority take it without realizing what they are doing to their bodies. The dangers of the drug to the health are numerous, and while global countries are way ahead by spending billions of dollars to fight drug abuse, it is hoped that Africa will follow suit, with Nigeria expected to take the lead.
The respiratory system is there. It can cut off your respiration. Sometimes these drugs, they can raise your blood pressure. So for this purpose, psychologically, people can get a little bit happier, they can be sadder, they can be motivated, they can concentrate, and sometimes they feel that they have more power than they do, they feel invincible, they feel less anxious. So there are positive psychological effects to using drugs at the initial onset. But unfortunately, if you have the risk factors of becoming an addict, then you're in trouble, because after using the first time, then there's a higher likelihood that your brain is going to say, I like this drug, go back, go get it. If it says, I like it, go back, go get it, what happens is that as you continue to use it, it's going to mess up the natural neurotransmitters of your brain and start to diminish the functioning of your brain. So eventually you find people getting more depressed, and if they don't use these drugs, they can't function. You find some people become suicidal if they don't use these drugs. Some become very tired, and some people, certain drugs, if you use them like cocaine, amphetamine, you can have a stroke. Every drug has a different treatment. The treatment I will use for alcohol is different from the treatment I will use for amphetamine, is different for the patient I'll use for opiates like heroin, because some of these things already have drugs that are used to manage them over here. The drug dealer is there to make money. What we're doing in Nigeria is a joke. People are just taking cups in there. We need to get systems where we first diagnose the drug use, because certain drugs have treatment. So if we don't know what we're taking, how can we say we're treating it? The economic hardship is destroying the families in Nigeria. The lack of employment, the schools being shut down, you have to engage the youth. The mind is busy. And if you leave them, there are a lot of studies that show that the children who are not engaged, the people who are not, meaning that the children are not engaged, and meaning that the person who is not also going to school, who is on the street, is more prone to use drugs. The parents not being in the house, or by the time a parent comes in and they're tired, how are they going to know that their child's behavior has changed? We have to also educate parents.
Curbing drug addiction in the society appears a daunting task, but a good place to start will be to organize random drug testing in academic institutions, workplaces, and also to create new rehabilitation centers, as well as maintain already existing centers to help those who struggle with this vice. Bettina Unwili, reporting for News Central.